Good morning, beautiful people. I hope that you guys are all doing well and have been getting through all of these shifts that we're going through. This transition and transformation has been challenging for most of us, but I also want you to take a breath and appreciate and acknowledge where you are today and how far you have come up to this point through the twists and turns and roller coaster rides that we've been going through. I want you to sit back, take some breaths, and now enjoy where you are at this point, where you've come from, and all of the work that you did up to this point, and we still have some more. We have some more stuff to go through. The shifts of energy will continue to go up and down, to continue to let us shed that old version of ourselves and get through all of it so we can get to this new place of being and really being who we really are truly meant to be. So it's important for you to acknowledge and to give yourself a pat on the back for coming this far and getting to this point and accomplishing all that you have up to this point as well, right? And the card that popped out, in addition to what I'm saying to, which is really just a reminder of recognizing the progress that you have gone through. We are progressing. Even though the energies are coming at us in an accelerated rate to make those transitions and changes, we are progressing. Hopefully we are progressing, right? It's a lot of work, and it's even harder when we have to stop and take a look at ourselves, right? That's probably the most challenging thing to do, to look at ourselves and see what it is that we need to change, especially if it is something that is no longer serving us, right? Whatever lesson we were to learn from those experiences now, hopefully, have come up to the surface, and we are starting to recognize it and taking the steps to start healing and changing it, okay? Changing and healing it, whatever way you want to look at it, right? So it's important for you to take some breaths, allow yourself to go through it in whatever way you need to go through it, and whether it's slow, fast, whatever your way you're being guided. It's really just, stop and just listen to your intuition and let it guide you through it. And although it may feel lonely and that we're going through it, there is a rainbow at the end of all of it, right? It's going to be very fulfilling when you start to see that you really, even though you've gone through this rough time of changing those patterns, behaviors, and recognizing where all of this stuff is coming from and seeing things for what they truly are. Even though we went through those challenges, back and forth, you still have done work, right? You're still getting through it. So you need to take the time to show gratitude, to thank yourself, to reward yourself for coming and getting to this point right now, and just continue doing the work. Don't resist it. Allow it to do what it needs to do and get through it as best as you can, okay? And although it may feel like a rush, right, to get to the end of that game, because that's what I refer to as like a game, because the energies may feel so intense to some extent. Yes, we got to get through it quick because it wants us to get it through it quick, but just go at your own pace. Don't overwhelm yourself with it. Take time to rest. Take time to journal your experiences. Take time to reflect. Take time to see where you were and where you are now. And even if you feel like you haven't accomplished anything or gone that far, if you sat down and started to reflect upon the past to this point, and where you were then to where you are now, you're going to see there was definitely changes. We're not the same people we were then. You know, even in this last year, I feel like I'm not the same person I was a year ago. You know, going through all of this growth and changing and understanding and reflection and healing. It was rough and challenging, but I really feel so much more now at this point, and maybe some of us do feel it as well, but empowered, you know, connected, understood, liberated, right? Enlightened. Because when you get to that place of understanding everything you've gone through and where it came from and how we chose all of the reactions or made all the choices that we made in the past, we're going to see why we made those choices, right? We're going to see maybe those choices weren't as good as they should have been, but in the time that we made those choices and those decisions, we didn't realize that, right? So as we become more aware and awakened, now we understand, all right, I went through a lot of things in my life, and I understand where everything is coming from, and I'm at a place of now understanding what lights me up, what feels good to me and what doesn't feel good to me. So I don't want this to go into a long video because I do have to leave. I have to go to work. So I'm going to read the message in more detail for you. Okay, so the card that came through was progress. You have been in a process of great change, self-growth, and healing. It is important to maintain a good relationship with yourself, which means don't beat yourself up, don't put yourself down, allow yourself to go through what you're going through. It's all happening for a reason, okay? So just continue doing the work, even when you get frustrated. It's important for you to recognize that, okay? Journaling is one tool that may help. Keep a journal and write to yourself as if you were counseling a friend. Record your goals and dreams. It may be very cathartic to have a special place to vent. Meditation is another means for healing or spiritual development. Going outside for fresh air can also be rejuvenating. If you find you are in a rut or starting to experience a downward spiral, consider closing your eyes and taking a deep breath. Breath work is so important. It just brings us into that present moment. And that's where you want to be, because that's where it'll make sense. When we're in the present moment, we can actually see it for what it is when we're present, right? Imagine you are opening your eyes for the first time and seeing the world around you from a different perspective. And as we go through this awareness and awakening, we're going to start seeing things for what they really are anyway. And our perspective is going to be different, right? Because we're different. That's the whole challenge in this game of life. Understanding, seeing who you are, your worth, not letting experiences define us, right? So we're already gaining a new perspective about who we are and the world around us. And that means your environment, the people that you're with, you're going to start to see them for who they are. And some you're going to want to be with, and others you're not going to want to be with. You're not going to want to take them into this new cycle, especially if you've gone through so much work and clearing and healing. You know, it's a lot of work to get through, and in emotions and mentally and physically, it's a lot. So when you go through all of that, you're going to get to a place at the end of that, or even as you're getting to the end of it, that there's going to be people, places, things that you are not going to want to be around, especially if they vibrate in that lower frequency that we may have been in at that time, right? Because like attracts like, right? The things we're going through, and how we feel about ourselves, we always attract that into our lives. So although maybe in the past we may have been in that place and in that vibration unintentionally or unknowingly, not knowing, because we just go through life, through our experiences without really recognizing or understanding why we're going through those experiences. We go through all the emotions connected to those experiences, and and a lot of times we don't even know what's going on, right? We just continue going through life. We repeat those patterns over and over and over and over, and then we ask questions like, why do I keep going through the same thing? Why do I keep meeting the same kind of people? And that's because through this journey, we're supposed to recognize what is within us that is attracting that, right? What is it that is being shown to us that we need to look at, seriously look at? So, we have to go through all of this to get there. And like I said, it's a challenge. It's a roller coaster ride. So find things as you're going through it to help you, make you feel better. Journal it, I know we're going to feel lonely at times and that we're going through it, all by ourselves. But, we're not the only ones going through it. Everyone is going through it. It's just how you decide to deal with it, okay? So journal. Go for walks out in nature. Take some deep, refreshing breaths every day, just to help ground you and keep you in the present moment so that this change and these shifts and this transformation doesn't become overwhelming for us. Because sometimes if we let it overwhelm us, that is when we're going to go backwards, right? And it's okay if we do, because through our healing journey, we will regress at some point, as long as you don't stay there, right? But if you become so overwhelmed by these changes, instead of looking at these changes as, okay, this is part of my transformation, I'm recognizing things for what they are. I'm understanding why things are happening the way they are. I'm understanding why I am choosing or attracting these things into my life. I know within myself that there's something that is trying to be healed, and look at it more as these experiences are teaching me how to connect and recognize who I am and to remember who I am, okay? So whatever you can do, like I said, journal, as they're saying in this message, journal, go for walks, be present, and if the stuff comes up, just feel through it, right? Try to become the observer if you can, but sometimes I know when we're emotionally involved in it, it's hard to get through it, but we need to keep ourselves grounded through this process. So find things that light your fire. Find things that are going to take you out of that energy and keep you moving forward, okay? Whatever that may look like for you. If you find you are in a rut or starting to experience a downward spiral, consider closing your eyes and taking a deep breath. Again, breath work. Imagine you are opening your eyes for the first time and seeing the world around you from a different perspective. What is pleasurable around you? If you can see nature, what beauty can you find? Encourage yourself not to take anything for granted. What a wonderful life you have been given. If needed, make a list of your values and ethics. Writing a belief list will help you to live with purpose and more awareness. Your list is not set in stone and may shift and change as you develop throughout your life. A fairy looks back over her shoulder to view different scenes unfolding. This is a reminder to take it one step at a time. The hyacinths to her right means that steadiness and sincerity are important aspects in this phase of growth. The lilac of the fairy's garment encourages creative activities and uniqueness. Apart from symbolizing transformation, butterflies are believed to restore the inner self and inspire the essential loving spirit of the human soul. This enhances your ability to reshape and grow as you see fit, which is all representative of your growth, your changes, your shifts, right? The things that you're going through, how you are growing, how you are evolving. It's so important to recognize this stuff, and that's why it's being shown to us and being pushed at us at such an accelerated pace, because, the universe really wants us to see it, because we're trying to be put in a place of remembering, of truly remembering who we are, what our purpose is, and our purpose is not to suffer. And our purpose is not to suffer through these changes either, even though they may feel like that. We have to really just kind of embrace it, okay? Because it is part of the transformation. So, my lovely people, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. Get out there. Enjoy this weather. Get out there and do something for you. Okay? Step out of this energetic shift that's overwhelming many, and try to, and this is not to distract yourself, but just stay in the present moment. Stay in gratitude, stay in appreciation, and look at this transformation more as you remembering who you are and becoming that again. Okay? Have a great weekend, everyone. I will see you soon.